All right, guys, welcome to day 2 of dimensional analysis. I hope yesterday went well for everybody. For the most part, it looks like everybody submitted everything, so that is awesome. So just as we keep going throughout this week, remember, we do have spring break, so let's finish this week strong. Dimensional analysis is not a very tough thing, but it is something that we're going to need to know for the EOC next year. Now, as we learned yesterday, dimensional analysis is really just the conversion of different units. Now, the thing about today is we're going to actually have 2 units at once. So if we notice, we not only have 75 miles, but we also have hours. And we're trying to go from miles per hour to feet per minute. So it still doesn't change. The first thing we're going to do every single time is we're going to take what we have and we're going to write it over 1, except this time it's going to be a little bit different. Now, the only thing that's different is where the per is. And what per really means is just a fraction bar. So it's going to be 75 miles per or over 1 hour. So what that looks like is 75, and I'm going to do mi for miles over 1 hour. So we still have that unit rate because we still have 75 over 1. So we're still good there. The only difference is we do have a unit at the bottom, and that unit is hour. Now, the way that I like to think about these problems, you have miles and you have hours. So in other words, you have distance and you have time. Well, you can't chase 2 rabbits at once. You can only chase 1. So instead of trying to eliminate miles and eliminate hours at the same time, we're going to pick one, get it to what we need to. So we need to get miles to feet or hours to minutes all at one time. So this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to pick distance, which is miles. So I know miles is going to go down here on the bottom, and I need to get to feet. Do we have a conversion from miles to feet? We do. It's 5,280 feet is 1 mile. Now miles will cancel, and we have what we want, which is feet. So I circle it, and that lets me know that I've caught that rabbit, or I've finally figured out the first thing that we need to do, and that is feet. So now we need to get our hours into minutes. So hopefully you went ahead and looked. Oh, I didn't mean to draw that in orange there. My apologies. Hopefully you went ahead and read the directions for our form today, and it gives you the conversions. So we know that hours got to go on top and minutes has to go on the bottom. Now, I know we can go from hours to minutes because of the conversion I gave above, and hopefully everybody knows that in 1 hour there is 60 minutes. So now hours on the bottom, hours on the top, so they cancel out. And so now we have minute. So now we have our feet over our minutes, and that is exactly what we need for our answer because it is feet per or over minute. So now we just need to do the math part, which is multiply everything out. So if we were to do that, I'm going to go ahead and move down here. We got 75 times 5,280, which is going to give us 396,000 all over 1 times 1 times 60, which is just 60. So we have 396,000 divided by 60, which is going to leave us with 6,600 feet per minute. And that is our answer. So these do take a little bit of work. Now, obviously, it's not going to take you 5 minutes to do it. That's just me kind of going over everything and explaining it. But what I do want you to do is go ahead and try this one out. So it is very similar. So pause and then give it a go. All right, so we have 50 miles per hour, and we're trying to get to feet per minute. So we're going to take what we got. Write it over 1 hour. And now you got to choose. We're trying to go from miles to feet or hours to minutes. I'm going to go ahead and click miles again, or choose miles again. So I'm going to write miles on the bottom since it's on the top. So it'll cancel out. And then we know 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So now miles cancels. We have feet, which is what we want. So now we can move on to time. And so we need to go from hours to minutes. So once again, hours needs to go on top. Therefore, minute is going to go on the bottom. And in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Got an hour on the bottom and an hour on top, so they cancel out. We have minutes, so we have our feet over minutes that we need. So now we can just do the math. So if we were going to do that math, we would have 50 times 5,280 times 1. So we get 264,000. All over 1 times 60, which is 60. So 264,000 divided by 60 is going to give us 4,400 feet per minute. And that is your answer. So now, the only other thing that's going to happen on the homework tonight is that you might have to go from, instead of feet per minute, to feet per second. Now, if you have to do that, only difference is, I'm going to write it all in green, is you're going to have to multiply again, and now you need to get rid of minutes, and you need to go to seconds. So minutes will cancel. You have seconds, which is what you want. Everybody knows that in 1 minute there is 60 seconds. So now, only other thing is we got 60 times 60. So it would really be 2,000 or 264,000. I'm sorry. Divided by 60 divided by 60. So you're going to get 73.3, which is really roughly about 73.33. So we'll round it up to the nearest hundredths. And that would be feet per second. So if you had to go to seconds, it just adds one more easy step. So hopefully you guys got that. It is just a little bit confusing just because there's 2 units, but please, please, please just make sure you pick either distance or time and run with it until you check, or not you chase, you catch that one rabbit, and then you can move on to the next rabbit, which is your other unit. So please, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me tomorrow. But if not, I hope you guys do great, and I look forward to talking to everybody tomorrow. No, we're not talking. Just kind of screw that up. Whatever. Um,